Hello there, how are you doing? In this video I'll be showing you quickly, okay, maybe not very quickly, how to make a dreadlock wig. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the placement. If you look at that lace closure I'm using, you can see that I'm using like an already constructed frontal net, not the one that I'll have to like construct from a yard of lace myself. And that point I'm going to like divide it into two. If you look closely, you can see that I folded the lace frontal into two equal parts. This is for me to locate the middle point so that I can place it at the appropriate part on the canvas block head as well. It is important that the center of your lace frontal, the net that I'm using in this video, is placed on the center of the dummy head as well, or the canvas block head. So after you do that, the next thing is to start sewing from the back. And when you want to sew, you're going to sew from the middle to the right hand side or to your left hand side first, then you come back to the other side. You start from the middle to the other side as well. Just watch what I am doing in this video. Also understand that I used a ready-made 13x4 lace frontal net in this video, but you can get your maybe a yard of lace and construct it yourself. You can just cut a particular size of lace that you want and attach it to the wig cap that you're using to make your wig. But because I'll be making the 13x4 frontal and I already have a 13x4 frontal lace at home, I used it in this video instead of constructing a new frontal net from scratch. Okay, so the size of the lace closure or frontal you want to use to make your dreadlock wig is up to you. Whatever size you decide to use is up to you, but just make sure that you place it properly on the wig cap. The next thing now is to mark out the point I'll be working on. And if you look at it, you can see I already attached a tape rule or a measuring tape to the wig cap, and I'll be marking the wig cap at 1 inch interval. So you can see I marked at 0.8, then I marked at 7, at 6, and I marked it at 1 interval like that till I move closer to the point where I sewed the lace frontal. The significance or the importance of you drawing this guideline is just it helps you, it guides your wig making process, and at the end of the day it makes it easier for you, especially as a beginner. But if you're someone that is already on a pro level, you might not need to draw this. Just use like your discretion to do what you need to do. Okay, now moving closer to the point where I attached the lace frontal, I reduced the measurement, the intervals between each of the guidelines. So when I got to like 2 inches, I started reducing it to like half an inch, because you need the upper parts, the top of the cap to be fuller than the back. Because when you're trying to make a braided wig or a dreadlock wig, you have to ensure that it is not too heavy. That's one of the things you should put into consideration. Then the topmost part or the upper part of the wig should be fuller than the back of the wig. So that is one of the ways we used to like control the weight of the wig. Okay, now these are the locks I will be working with, and they are not new. They've been used before, so I don't have the pack anymore, so I won't be showing you in this video the name of the brand I used in making this Faux lock wig, so pardon me. And as you can see, I'm showing you here in this video that it doesn't have the typical crochet hole. If you're familiar with crochet extensions, you know that they always come with a particular hole, but this one doesn't have. Also, I'll be using a braiding hair extension for this wig as well. The next thing I'll be doing is to crochet the hair extension, the braiding hair extension, into the wig cap, because I need a base that I will braid the Faux lock with. You know, the crochet that we're using, the Faux lock we're using doesn't come with a hole. If it was the one that came with a hole, it would be easier for us to just insert it into the wig cap. Now pay attention to the crochet pin I'm using. I'm not using the big regular crochet pin. I'm using the smaller size. Look at the size of the pin I'm using, because the bigger one cannot pass through this particular net. I use the mesh dome cap, so the big one will not be able to pass through this net. So if you'll be using the mesh dome cap, you have to use this small crochet pin that I used in this video. Please pay rapt attention here. You divide your false lock into 2 equal parts, then you section the braiding hair extension on the wig cap into 3 different parts, 3 equal parts as well. Now, the 2 equal parts of the false lock will be attached to 2 parts of the braiding hair extensions. Do you understand? That means one section of the braiding hair extension will not be attached to any part of the false lock, and that is the part that will be used to wrap the false lock after you've braided a bit. Okay, just watch what I am doing, you will get it. Please understand that this method that I'm using here is only applicable if you are using a false lock that doesn't have a crochet hole for the back of your false lock wig. But if it does have if the crochet you are using has a crochet hole, just attach it to the wig cap and move to the next. When you get to the front, you can now start doing something like this. Okay. Now let us repeat the process. You insert your braiding hair extension into the wig cap, and you don't have to use this particular braiding hair extension. Actually, I would love for you to use the kinky one, the kinky braiding hair extension, the one that looks like the natural hair. That one blends more with the dreadlock or false lock. But because I already had this at hand and I didn't want to get another one, so it works fine as well. Okay. Once again, you divide your false lock into 2 parts or 2 sections. Then the braiding hair extension will be divided into 3 sections, meaning one section of the braiding hair will not have a part of the or a section of the false lock, right? The part that doesn't hold the false lock will be the one you use to wrap after braiding. So you just braid a few times and use the remaining parts to wrap the false lock. Okay, just what I am doing here. Start wrapping your braiding hair extension around the false lock from the root. Then you come upwards, so you wrap it downwards. I don't know, but just look at what I'm doing. Look at the direction. Then when you're done, make sure you tie it properly, because this is braiding hair extension. It can lose when you are done. Okay, so I'll just keep repeating the same process till I am done with the back of this wig. I am done with the first line at the back, and I attached just 3 false lock on that line. So for the next line, I'll just make sure that I fill the gap in between the crochet or the false lock at the back. Do you understand? I'll just make sure I fill up the gap in between them. is how far I have gone with the dreadlock wig or the false lock wig. You know, I keep using the word dreadlock because a false lock is supposed to mimic a natural dreadlock, okay? Now, after this point, you need to ensure that the point where you sewed your lace frontal to the wig cap, you also add some false lock to it, because you don't want the point where you joined the lace frontal to the wig cap to be showing, okay? The next thing to do now is to ventilate the lace frontal after that. But I did not record this part of the video because I have a lot of tutorials on this channel where I taught how to make lace closures, lace frontals, especially for beginners. For those of you that you do not know how to even undo your lace ventilation pin, you don't know how to do the spacing, you don't know how to do the ventilation patterns, just go to this channel, watch my other videos, you will see detailed tutorials on that, okay? After that, I sectioned the lace frontal into the already ventilated lace frontal into different sections, which I'll be braiding on as well. So to do that, you might want to it is important actually to make sure you divide it into 2 equal halves first before you start sectioning into smaller bits, okay? After that, make sure that you are sectioning evenly, okay? And before you decide to start sectioning, it is important you pay attention to the amount of false lock you have on ground, because for me, I did not do that. So at the end of the day, I had to go back to increase the sections, all right? Because you don't want to finish sectioning and realize that, and then you realize that you don't have enough crochet on ground. Please note that I use the braiding extension to ventilate the lace frontal, okay? You can use the braiding extension, you can use the kinky bulk I showed earlier, the kinky braiding extension I showed earlier to do your lace frontal. As a matter of fact, it looks very beautiful on dreadlock or false locks, okay? I am done sectioning the lace frontal, and this is what it looks like. You can see it's already looking well put together and it's looking beautiful already. The next thing to do now is to attach the false lock. So it's going to be the same process as what we did at the back, or with what we did at the back. You're just going to divide your false lock into 2 equal halves. Then you section the head. The section you're working with, you divide it into 3 equal halves. Then you're going to braid them together, and the part of the middle part, the one that doesn't have the false lock attached to it, will be used to wrap around the false lock. Then you knot and you drop it. Then you trim off the excesses and you drop it, okay? Just watch the video and get the entire process. It's going to be the same thing with what I did at the back. Now I am done with the first half of the lace frontal, and you can see this is already looking well put together. And the secret to that is patience and ensuring that you wrap firmly. It is important you wrap firmly. And this is the other half as well. I am done, and you can see it's looking beautiful and well put together already, okay? So just follow the steps I have explained in this video and you're going to have a beautiful result like this. Of course, we are not done. We still have to trim and do some other things. Just watch the video. Please trim properly, okay? And you can see I used fire here as well to trim them, to burn the flyaways. Trimming is a major part of your wig. It's going to determine the neatness of your wig at the end of the day. So make sure that you put in enough effort into trimming. Now it is time to do the baby hairs, and I'll be using the human hair extension for that, because the human hair extension lays better at the hairline, okay? It will blend well and it will lay properly by the time you want to lay your edges. It is better you use a human hair than for you to use braiding hair extension, okay? So I'll be ventilating it into the hairline. Now I am done ventilating, and you can see I ventilated in front of each of the sections, okay? But you can decide to ventilate on the entire hairline, depends on you. But I really do not like a baby hair that is too full at the front, so I just decided to like do it at the point where I liked my baby hairs to be, okay? So the next thing I did was to like trim the baby hairs, because of course they are too long, so I had to like cut them and reduce the length, okay? Now it is time to cut the wig cap directly underneath the lace frontal, because you're not going to wear your frontal wig like this. We have to cut the wig cap underneath the lace frontal so that we can see the effect of the lace on the scalp, okay? I put paper underneath the lace frontal earlier to make me see the holes more clearly while ventilating. I added mousse to lay the baby hairs at the front, but this is something you can skip. It's just for me to beautify the wig making process for the video, okay? But you can see the effect I was trying to talk about earlier. You can see that the frontal or the canvas block head is showing more clearly now underneath the lace frontal. So that's why you have to cut your wig cap underneath the lace frontal, okay? So I added some mousse to the body of the false lock as well. After adding the mousse, I added hairspray to make it shiny and soft. And you know this is the lace frontal wig, so you can style in different ways, and I'll be showing you samples in this video. Please, if you have watched to this point, kindly remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Comment down below your favorite part of this wig making process and tell me where you're watching from. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.